Well, in Syria today, Kurdish forces appear to have retaken areas near the embattled border town of Kobani following heavy US airstrikes on Islamic State militants. It's just the latest battleground in a civil war that over the last 3 years has pushed families to the very edge of survival. Our international editor, Lindsey Hilsum, is in the northern city of Aleppo, a once prosperous place where fighting between government forces and different rebel groups has destroyed entire neighbourhoods. She joins us from there now. Lindsey.
Krishnan, you can go to some parts of government-held West Aleppo where I am and think, there really isn't a war on. But then you turn the corner and there's a scene of total devastation. Or you hear the rocket fire or the crackle of small arms and you realise where you are. The devastation on this side isn't as complete as it is in the east, which has undergone 3 years of government bombing. But I think what struck me most in the couple of days that I've been here so far is how this war is destroying people's lives. It's not easy to keep the floor clean. It's not easy to keep anything clean when you live in a half-built apartment block open to the elements. War has brought 20 families in Aleppo to this, squatting in a building site, 2 families per story. It's as if the walls have been sliced off to reveal the people's destitution. Mustafa Naisa has been here a month. Once he had his own flat. He'd saved the little money he earned as a cobbler to buy it. But war pursued his family from neighbourhood to neighbourhood and brought penury in its wake.
I
left my home because I was scared. The houses in our area had been destroyed. At first I rented a place, but then my money was used up, so I went to Ashrafia, which was cheaper. Eventually, a month ago, I had to come here because I had no money left at all.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 9, 10 هدول بعرفهم بس.
That's as far as you can go, but it's good. Can you? No. Mustafa's 7-year-old daughter Isra should start school this term, but her elder sister Kauthar hasn't been for 3 years now. Girls have to help their mothers. This is no place for kids, but for the moment there's nowhere else. Only a few Aleppo families live in half-built blocks, but tens of thousands stay in homes that have been half destroyed. Show me where you live. You live on the second floor?
My mom was there with
when a bomb came?
Yes.
When a rocket came?
Yes.
Maria Kargian says she's beyond fear. The Armenian quarter of Midan, where she lives, is just inside government-held West Aleppo, on the front line with the rebel-controlled east of the city.
In the past, here we called it Midan Street. Now Tora Bora.
Tora Bora, you call it Tora Bora, like in Afghanistan.
Welcome, Tora Bora.
Welcome to Tora Bora. I suppose you have to laugh, or how would you keep going? Most Armenians are staunch supporters of President Bashar al-Assad. People here are afraid of Islamic State militants, as they are all over Aleppo. In this neighbourhood especially, because they're Christians. They know what their fate would be. But that's not necessarily in the forefront of their minds. For 3 years they've been under attack by all sorts of different opposition groups. For them, the enemy takes many different forms. They question Western distinctions between moderate and extremist rebels.
It's the opposition. It's the opposition. One day the Free Syrian, second day the Jabhat al-Nusra, today ISIS. Every time they are killing the people.
Survival is what people talk about, but a few miles west of the front line, buying the best falafel in Aleppo, you might sometimes manage to forget there was a war on. And there are other ways to pretend for an hour or so. It's the daytime disco. It can be dangerous to go out at night, so why not dance in the day? The crowd here is mainly students, fed up of politics and war and death.
And I love dance, and I will still dance until I die.
You'll dance until you die?
Yes, of course. That's what makes me alive. For me, it's for me.
Aleppo, where young people want their lives back, where revolution turned to war and war brought misery and destruction, where sometimes the only way to cope is to face the music and dance.